Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. This video, it's something that was requested of me to do, and I totally forgot to do it because I was so busy doing other things, especially now with the Xbox One X and everything. But I did go through my messages, my message boards via Facebook and my YouTube and Twitter, and I found out this request that somebody asked me because I do have OPPO, and OPPO does have HDR pass-through. Someone asked me, hey, is it possible for you to go ahead and connect your Xbox One S through OPPO UDP 203? And sure, I can do that. And I'm doing it right now. What you're looking at is the TCL Roku Dolby Vision HDR10 television, full array local dimming, 72 local dimming zones, and that's the one caveat of this TV. It's the 72 local dimming zones. All right, and if you're gonna buy an LCD LED backlit TV, make sure that it's full array local dimming. Okay, that's the key thing you gotta look for. Stay away from the edge lit. Look for the full array local dimming. All right, so anyway, here's my Xbox One S. It's right here, as you can see it clearly. It's there. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go ahead and turn on and switch. Use my remote control, which is right here, from my OPPO 203, and I'm gonna switch to. Hold on. I'm going to switch to my HDMI input right here. It should be right over here where it says input. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to switch to HDMI in. And about a few seconds you should see it. Should show up. There it is right here. And I can tell you right off the bat, it looks much better. This definitely looks much better in terms of quality. You got to remember the OPPO, it's already being connected through a very high quality HDMI premium cable. That's about close to 20 megabits per second high speed bandwidth data. And on top of that, it has this really good advanced processing chip built into it that keeps the HDR pass-through from the HDMI in, that keeps it even more constant bitrate. That's the very important word that you guys need to understand, is the constant bit rate. All right, it's all about the speed of that HDMI that's being outputted and the way it's being compressed. So OPPO HDMI in is definitely one of the best. It's gold plated and it looks perfect here. All right, so far, what I'm seeing here, it looks really good. Considering this is Xbox One S, and I like what I'm seeing here. This is definitely a much better upscale through the OPPO 203. I highly recommend that you use OPPO 203 if you are running out of space on your HDMI, especially if you have this TV and you only have 3 HDMI inputs. The OPPO will be an excellent addition to give you that 4th HDMI pass-through input. So this way you will have 4 HDMI inputs. Okay. Now I would recommend that you use the receiver, Onkyo 676 receiver, and get 7 HDCP 2.2 inputs and do it through a receiver. Obviously, that's the most plausible way of doing it. But if you don't have the receiver, if you're doing it just like this, then this is a great addition to use. It's the OPPO, okay? And it does a great job upscaling as well. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to quickly select Call of Duty World War II. I'm going to click on it. We're going to play through it a little bit just to see how well it looks. See if it's anything different or not while we're playing it here on TCL 55 P605 model through OPPO. Okay, and for those of you who don't believe me that it is running through the OPPO HDMI in here, let me show you. I'm gonna just take my camera quickly from the tripod and I'm gonna show it to you. Okay, here we go. So there it is, HDMI in. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it clearly says right there HDMI in. And if your input source it's outputting HDR, it will say HDR there as well. So there you go. I'm only doing this for a credibility purposes, because God forbid someone will think that I'm lying or something. But there you have it. It's through HDMI in. Alright, so let me select Call of Duty World War II and let's see how well it looks. So far the user interface looks pretty good. I like what I'm seeing. By the way, you're going to see exactly the same thing on the Xbox One X. It's just that the user interface will be much cleaner and it's going to run much faster. But this is pretty much the same thing you will see on the Xbox One X. So anyway, let me go ahead and click on Call of Duty World War II. Let's see how it looks being upscaled through OPPO, okay? It should say HDR here. Let me see. Let me resume the game. Actually, it looks pretty good though, I must say. So far, what I'm seeing here looks great. But let me just double check to see if it's running in HDR, okay? Let me do that really quick. So let me go through the settings and alright, let me go back here. Hold on a second. Well, there you go. I just had to reset the game basically. As you can see, HDR is on. There it is. And you can clearly see it right there. It says 4K 60 Hz HDR10. And you can also see it on the OPPO UDP 203. Will say HDR, HDMI in. I can show that to you really quick if you guys want to see here. There it is. You can see it clearly here. It says HDR, HDMI in. So it letting you know that it's using a HDR pass-through. So you're getting a 4K and HDR. In this case, it's being upscaled and it's getting a HDR. So I definitely recommend that you connect your Xbox One S through OPPO.
Seems like a long way off.
And it definitely looks much better.
I'm thinking it at the shore. Gotta advance.
I have to admit, OPPO UDP 203 upscaling here definitely adds to the much smoother, sharper detail with HDR. So if you have OPPO UDP 203, I highly recommend that you connect your Xbox One S through the OPPO and leave it just going through the OPPO. But since you're going to be getting the Xbox One X, honestly, don't even bother. By the way, I will be connecting the Xbox One X through the OPPO UDP 203 to double check to see how well it works. But I must say I'm pretty impressed here with the OPPO upscaling here through the HDMI in. And this is why OPPO UDP 203, it's highly regarded is one of the best 4K players out there. Of course, 205 is the best, but for the money, I would say 203. It's out there, right next to 205. It's really 203 and 205 are the two best 4K players out there in the market. Okay, I would put Pioneer like down below 203. So I'm really impressed so far here as to what I'm seeing in terms of upscaling and HDR through OPPO, and it looks pretty good. And here, just to show you, it is being run through OPPO in case you guys still don't believe me. You see that it is run through the OPPO. There you have it. And it looks much better, honestly. So if you are planning on connecting the Xbox One S through OPPO, I highly recommend that you do so. Okay? It definitely looks better. Now, graphically, don't expect graphics to be anything better or enhanced. The graphics are what they are. Okay, this is the best you're gonna get in terms of graphics. But in terms of smoothing out the images, definitely this upscale will get that job done for you through OPPO. And I think the main reason why this is happening is because of that advanced processing chip that's inside the OPPO. It's a really good advanced processing chip. Plus that pass-through. See, this is something that I'm worried about. I don't think the Xbox One X will have HDMI in HDR pass-through. I haven't heard anything about them allowing the pass-through. So unless they send the patch to update the patch, then maybe. But I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, I'm very impressed in terms of like how it looks. So, it's something interesting here that I, noticed about Call of Duty World War II. There's so much detail here. Like if you pay attention to what's going on around you, you notice all sorts of different things, and you notice just how much there's going on this Omaha beach on this D-Day landing here, and it's pretty cool that they went down that route of Saving Private Ryan, and they're most definitely they were inspired by Saving Private Ryan to have this kind of a detail presented in this game. So pretty impressive though so far. Because the reason I'm telling you that it's better, it's because I already have tried Call of Duty on the Xbox One S, just directly being connected to a TV. Now, ever since I have connected it through OPPO, I have noticed that it looks a little bit better. Now, it's not a drastic difference. Don't expect any kind of a drastic difference. Most of you probably won't even notice that. But since I've been doing this for a long time now, I can tell you that there is a better difference. Okay, the jagged edged lines are much smoother here. The grain, it's much smoother here because of the good advanced processing upscaling chip that the OPPO is using. So you most definitely going to benefit, and there is no input lag here. Honestly, it runs smooth, as you can see me using my controller. Okay, It runs pretty good. What I mean by smoothing it out, the jagged edges, like you would normally see jagged edges here, like on this barricade, but you don't see it. You don't see it because it's being upscaled and smoothed out in a much better compressed pixelation here. Graphically, don't expect graphics to change here. You know, graphically, you're not going to see a difference here. You will see that graphical difference with the Xbox One X, okay? But you're not going to see it with resolution upscale, okay? Remember, we're talking about the resolution. We're talking pixels of compression here. All right, we're not talking about graphics. We're talking about resolution and compression. Look at this guy. He's lost. Oh my god. Look, he lost his leg and everything. Holy shit. So anyway, it looks pretty impressive, I have to say. What I mean impressive is I like so far what the OPPO is doing here. And look, this is why OPPO it's so expensive, because it has so many variety of options available for you, you know. And look, OPPO is definitely the best 4K player out there. There's no question about that, and it enhances your Xbox One S as well in terms of quality. All right, let me see how many minutes I have left really quick here. Hold on. I only have like 3 minutes left, so I'm going to try to go ahead and check out to see how well Forza 7 runs being upscaled. Okay, so we're going to do that right now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and check out this track over here with a Honda. It looks pretty good, actually. Like I said, I'm very impressed with this upscale that's running through HDMI in pass-through from OPPO. I definitely notice jagged edged lines being smoothed out, you know. Now, most of you probably won't notice that because you have to sit very close, but I can tell because I have been checking this game out left and right. I know exactly how this game looks, so I can tell you firsthand what's different, what's not. My eyes have been trained, my brain has been depicting the images, remembers the images, and it knows exactly how it looks, okay? So, in terms of smoother image, it looks better. Graphically, obviously, you're not going to see that difference. You're only going to see that difference on the Xbox One X version, okay? On the Xbox One X, this will look hell of a lot much better. But so far, it's pretty impressive the way it looks on the way it runs through OPPO 203. That's what I meant by that. I'm impressed the way it runs through OPPO 203. I can tell you right away that graphically, you know, Xbox One S cannot truly give out the full potential of what Forza 7 will do on the Xbox One X. I can tell you this because I have already played this on a very beefy PC, so I know exactly how this level looks, how this game looks on a PC version. But this is still pretty good for the Xbox One S, okay? And if you're gonna still use Xbox One S, I recommend if you have OPPO, connected through your OPPO, man, and try it out. You know, it looks much smoother. Image wise looks smoother. Graphically it's not going to be different, but just image wise looks smoother, okay? Because it is a pass-through, it's the HDMI in pass-through, meaning you will get the nice good upscale with HDR, okay? Alright, so my video is going to end here pretty soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Xbox One X, it's almost here, so the videos will be coming in this week. Get ready, guys. Alright? Thank you for watching. Have a good one, though. Take care.